Well, 4 days after her top police team has failed to make a single arrest in the case of the rape of a nun at Ranaghat in West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee today announced that she's handing the probe over to the CBI. Meanwhile, a senior cardinal flew into Kolkata from Delhi and said he was glad that the CBI was finally taking over.
Mamata Banerjee, known to attack the CBI at every turn in recent times, has now turned to that same organization for help. On Facebook and Twitter, just before 3 this afternoon, she announced, "Considering the seriousness and sensitivity of the case, I have decided to entrust investigation of the case to CBI. Investigation into the case of the rape of the nun." It's perhaps mere coincidence that Mamata Banerjee has announced a CBI probe into the rape of the nun and the desecration of the convent's chapel on a day that the top cardinal of the country, a member of the Vatican's conclave, came calling on the nun who had been raped here at Ranaghat.
CM has ordered a CBI probe and we are very happy and satisfied and we hope for the best and we are confident that everything will go positive in this state.
Why CBI? Suspicious patterns, say Trinamool sources, like false rumors that the nun had died, that 12 lakh rupees had been stolen, in fact it was less than 2 lakh, that a security guard had been sacked, he had retired. Finally, the timing, just a month ahead of civic polls across the state.
To facilitate that inquiry, the CM has done justice and with that pure intention to cap hold of the culprits very soon.
Or was it public pressure? These scenes from Monday evening at Ranaghat. Mamata Banerjee's convoy blocked by angry locals demanding justice. Just because a state says so, is the CBI bound to take over a case? Mamata Banerjee has to write to the Ministry of Home Affairs for a final nod. Has the process started? No answers yet. In Ranaghat with G.D. Shankar, Manideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Well, is Mamata Banerjee in a sense deflecting the blame from her own administration, from her own government and herself as far as the safety and security of women in West Bengal is concerned? And, is there much more to the story that meets the eye? It is something that has been making headlines for days now. Shugata Roy, Lok Sabha MP of the TMC, joins us tonight from Delhi. Rita Banerjee, Rajya Sabha MP of the CPIM, here in the studio with us. Also with us, GVL Narasimha Rao, spokesperson of the BJP. We have Father Suvari Muthu Shankar, the spokesperson of the Archdiocese of Delhi, and Kavita Krishnan, also here in the studio with us. Shugata Roy, my first question is to you, sir. Mr. Roy, Mamata Banerjee announcing this CBI probe, would you concede that there has been an utter failure, sir, by the police in West Bengal to make headway in this case, not a single arrest more than 4 days after this incident happened?
No, there is no question of utter failure. The incident happened only 5 days ago. Mamata Banerjee immediately put her CBI onto the job. But you do not know the geography of the place. Ranaghat is only maybe within 20 kilometers of the Bangladesh border. So if in case after having committed the crime, these people escape to Bangladesh, it will not be possible for West Bengal police to find those culprits. Then you will need the support of the Interpol, the Bangladesh police and all that. So in a very wise move, she has handed over. Her police tried the best, but they have not been able to, in a huge population that Bengal has, if somebody goes and mixes with the population, it may not be always possible. So now nobody can complain. CBI has been handed over the job. If they have escaped to Bangladesh, CBI will approach the Interpol to help in getting them arrested. I do not think there's a big failure. You can't say immediately after a crime. Of course, the faces of those people were seen on CCTV. But that doesn't mean that you'll be able to identify them in an area where lakhs of people live. So there has been no failure. But Mamata Banerjee, in a very wise move, has handed over the case to CBI. Let the CBI with
let me take that to Mr. Banerjee. Let me take that to Mr. Banerjee. Mr. Banerjee, would you then welcome that the CBI is taking over this case?
See, after this incident,
if it is, yeah.
After this incident, today, a 76-year-old lady, she has been raped and killed in Bardwan district in Kathua. This continues. In the last 29 days, you have 18 rape cases in Bengal. And as far as this case is concerned, this Ranaghat incident, you have the CCTV footages, and there was a huge protest when the Chief Minister was there. You have shown already the picture. School students, their parents coming up in huge number, roads were blocked. So and there was a demand that there must be a CBI inquiry. What my sir, Shogat Roy is a teacher of mine, what he is saying that Bangladesh border is very near, people may have crossed the border. So 5 days has lapsed in between, because after the incident took place, and you have to remember that this St. Joseph and Mary School, there were threat calls 1 week earlier. They have intimated it to the police. Police have taken no action. And today Mamata Banerjee in Twitter has said that there will be a CBI inquiry. It's a very sensitive thing. Is not the Kathua thing a sensitive one? The question is in Bengal, a reign of terror continues in Bengal, and the women, they are basically primarily targeted. And this incident shows one 74-year-old nun getting raped. Now again today you have a killing and rape of a 76-year-old
So you're saying it's primarily a law and order breakdown?
Absolutely, it's a law and order situation, and that has been from the Park Street incident. Recently, Suzette Jordan had died. We have seen after that incident, one after another incidents, and in 29 days, 18 cases. This is a very, very serious matter. The government basically continues in a denial mode.
Yeah, and yet, Mr. Roy, I'll take this back to you, because one of your senior ministers and even Mamata Banerjee alluded to Ghar Vapsi being the cause for this, and saying that, it is the rising religious intolerance that is the reason why this particular incident happened. So was that again a deflection?
That was not a deflection. That was a general statement on the state of affairs in the country. On the 1st of December, a church was burnt in Delhi. Till date, not a single person has been arrested in that case. There was this destruction of a church in Hisar district in Haryana. The Haryana Chief Minister defended the destruction of that. So somehow or other, an atmosphere against Christians and other minorities are being created in this country. The hooligans, the criminals who committed this heinous, dastardly crime in Ranaghat may have been encouraged by the general atmosphere of Ghar Vapsi, creating hatred against the Christians throughout the country. That's all we did not say that those who did the crime were members of BJP or Vishwa Hindu Parishad or something.
Okay.
No,
one second. Mr. Banerjee wants
all
to interject.
Mamata Banerjee or her ministers said
one
was
second.
that.
And then Mr. Rao,
Chief Minister, when the road was blocked, innumerable students and other people were there on the road for almost an hour. There was a protest. Mamata Banerjee categorically said that again the conspiracy theory, the favorite words of Mamata Banerjee again came up, and they said that it's a CPIM BJP conspiracy.
She said the protests were a CPI BJP conspiracy.
Yes, that's so. Yeah. When such incidents happen, and they were demanding, the basic demand was you must have a CBI probe, because the police has been inactive, and the duo who have been charged to look into the case is the famous duo that were looking into this for 1 year, the special investigation team
let me ask
in the
Mr.
Sarda
GVL
case.
Rao that, Mr. Rao, is this a case which could be a bit of both? You obviously do have concerns about law and order in West Bengal today, and there have been very high profile cases that have been reported in the media. Mamata Banerjee's own statements, public statements on the issues of rape have been very, very controversial and questionable. At the same time, there is also this perception, and many leaders of the Christian community feel that the minority does believe that it is under threat, that it is feeling insecure. And could this incident be linked to both?
First of all, it's utterly shameful for a woman chief minister to accuse the victims of rape, to accuse everybody else except the culprits. I think she had done that repeatedly, and she always wants to live in denial and always wants to blame and see an imaginary conspiracy in an act of crime like this. I think to my mind, to really link this crime to religion itself is utterly foolish and also deflecting the real issue at hand. that an elderly woman had been raped is a crime of humongous proportion, and it is only to deflect such crime that always I think the blame is laid elsewhere, as if this is going to really absolve the state government of the crime or absolve the state government of its own role in investigating such crimes. I think 5 days have passed. I wish she had realized her own, Rana Ghat has not shifted to Bangladesh border in the last 5 days. I think Mr. Roy would accept that this always was close to the border. So why had it taken them 5 days to realize this? And why was she all the time complaining of the victim and everybody else and not really pushing the police to act on them? I think possibly this is one such crime where you know who the culprits are, you have their visual images
I think that's
trapped
really
in CCTV footage,
that the CCTV
and you have a large police force. And a large police force. You see, for a state government has a large police force not to be able to really crack a crime like this, and you have lost precious time in the process.
But you know,
and now having failed miserably.
What is very evident is, unfortunately, Kavita Krishnan, that it's also become so politicized. It's not just about the TMC, you know, and the left and the BJP weighing in on this. You know, you have the Archbishop of Kolkata who is quoted as saying that this, you know, this is not about Mamata. This has to do with the Ghar Wapsi issue and everything else that's happening. Very quick to absolve her. You know, this is also a law and order problem, even if this was targeted at the nun.
No, let's just place it, I think, you know, from the point of view, I think, of women's movement activists. How would we see this? I think there is no doubt, and Mr. Roy should please recognize, that the atmosphere created by repeated sexist remarks and victim-blaming remarks by the Chief Minister and her ministers and her police downwards in a series of cases is also contributory. It also incites, it also contributes to violence against women. So that is also, I mean, if you're talking about the communal statements and so on, so is this. Secondly, and therefore there is no question, even if it were a communal attack, the responsibility to prevent it and to nab the perpetrators rests squarely with the state government. She cannot you know, palm it off on anyone else. But I would say that look at the, you know, the elements of this case also. I think that in this case, the fact that there was also desecration of the church, of the holy sacred elements in the church, the fact that of all the women in the church, the most senior most nun was actually targeted, picked out, an old lady like that was singled out for this incident, does not, it certainly points to a targeting. It is not a question of an opportunist rape. It doesn't read like that. It definitely reads like a deliberate targeting of the person who is the highest most authority in the church. And then that does. That does not mean that one absolves the state government. The state government is, I'll say this even about what has happened. Just now we have come across 2 acquittals in Kandhamal of rapes that have happened of women in Kandhamal during the communal violence then. And then also I will say that of course the perpetrators in that case were undoubtedly Sangh Parivar people, but I would say that the BJP government has contributed, the BJD government there has contributed hugely to the acquittals. Their police, their law and order machinery has helped the accused get away, the perpetrators get away. So we cannot begin to you know, absolve these governments, state governments, of their role in preventing such attacks, and if the attacks happen, in ensuring that the perpetrators
Would you then, Father Shankar, distance yourself from those remarks of those who sought to absolve Mamata Banerjee's government from responsibility?
No, that we will never do it, because as a chief minister, every chief minister has a responsibility. And also I would like to bring to the viewers' notice, even in 99, when the nuns were raped in Jabua,
exactly,
Vijay Singh was then chief minister of Madhya Pradesh, was so quick, too quick to attribute to BHP and Bajrang Dal people who came all the way from other states like Gujarat and Rajasthan. Again, when things happen, church attacks happen in Gujarat, Kesubhai Patel, then chief minister, once again he attributed the cause to conversion and the Christian missionaries. And yesterday again in Haryana, chief minister of Haryana, Khattar, once again he said the pastor was indulging in conversions. So across political parties, whether it is TMC, BJP, Congress, no one, they always too quick to find excuses and put the blame on others. And who is the suffering? Who suffers the most? It's the minorities, the ordinary citizens, ordinary people.
No, but do you have members of your community also been quick to absolve Mamata Banerjee?
We have not absolved.
You have the Archbishop of Kolkata, you have the West Bengal Minorities Commission Vice Chairperson Professor Maria Fernandez, who says it's motivated by the issue of Ghar Wapsi.
No. What they said was Mamata did what she could. The words used was.
But did she? Did Mamata do what she could?
That's what at least the Chief Minister went, visited, at least those gestures, her actions, at least somewhat consoling, comparing to what others do. They don't even bother to give an appointment. They don't even come and see us, visit us. So that way they said at least she has done what she could. Personally, going and meeting, visiting the place, it also speaks a lot.
Okay, Mr. GVR Rao wanted to come in on that point that you made, particularly on the communal angle. Yes, Mr. Rao.
I think for every crime, these are all antisocial elements who are all indulged in these crimes, and then they have to be dealt with as such by the law and order machinery. And let me say this: every time it becomes we become a soft target, punching bag for everyone. And Mamata Banerjee, who is actually responsible for maintaining law and order, I think the religious leaders, if they give a clean sheet to her, I think how do you expect to be really looked after? It is the state government.
Let me very objection.
Please let me finish.
No, let me just remind you. Even in 99.
Let me just finish.
Okay.
No, Father, let me complete.
Let Mr. Rao finish. Okay. Everyone get a chance. Yeah.
So it is. You see, it is the state. It is the state government which is responsible for law and order. And if you absolve them of a humongous crime like the nuns' rape in West Bengal, how do you expect to be protected? And as far as the Haryana case is concerned, let me tell you, the action had been very swift. FIR had been registered. A person, the prime accused, had been arrested already. I think, I don't know if you are aware of the facts. I think the statement, the Chief Minister in the Assembly
justified that the church was being built on illegal land.
Chief Minister he was presenting what led to this incident. He was presenting, what do you expect him to say? Does he not place the facts as they are reported from the village?
But the fact that FIR... but the fact that FIR has been registered
and the culprit has been arrested shows... No, I think the culprits had been arrested and the FIR has been lodged. I think that shows the sincerity of the government.
Okay, but Father Shankar wants to rebut you. Father Shankar wants to rebut you on that particular point. Let Father Shankar respond.
I will just remind you, even in 99, the BJP MP made this comment. He said, the expressions of anger, the rape and what happened in Madhya Pradesh, they said, expression of the anger of the patriotic Hindu youth against anti-national forces. And the BHP demanded Christian missionaries be asked to pack up and leave the country.